All right, what do we have next on the horizon? All right, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, it is time for the Five Nights at Freddy's Degenerates. This is going to be going through every single Five Nights at Freddy's drama and situation ever. We are going into the meat and potatoes of the degeneracy, and I hope that it does not absolutely and completely break my mind. In honor of the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie that just came out, I felt like, hey, I'll walk down memory lane on all the controversies and travesties that this freaking community's gone through. And they've been through a lot.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a franchise that needs no introduction. It's long transcended being a video game.
Turkey Tom, you're so based for that. I love when he does that. Five Nights at Freddy's needs no introduction. And then he does an introduction. God, Turkey Tom's just so freaking cool. He's so... Yeah, I love when he does that.
Freddy's is a franchise that needs no introduction.
Okay, no introduction. Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
It's long transcended being a video game and entered the timeless pantheon of internet meta. It's almost as if FNAF is now the common property of all online communities. So much...
Yes! Copyright does not exist. Copyright is a meme. It is a lie.
So that many projects blew up despite being entirely derivative of the FNAF IP. No matter how ridiculous or meme status it becomes, it's just the grift that keeps on giving.
Top 10 FNAF mods that will ruin your love life. What is this title thumbnail? This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Top 10 VTubers that will ruin your love life. Number 1, Fifi.
And the community that sprang around it doesn't look any closer to disbanding than it did years ago, when it was at its peak popularity-wise. Even with Scott leaving the franchise and the game series ending on a sour note with the extremely buggy security breach, FNAF hasn't lost one bit of its appeal.
Nope.
But, as all things...
In fact, there's a movie now. And the movie features MatPat. I don't know how that happened, but it did, and I love it. MatPat deserves all of that. All those years of MatPat not watching porn finally God gave him a spot in a movie. What a legend.
There's a downside to this, given that a significant fraction of the fan base is composed of children.
I should have known that this is what I was getting into. Oh, no.
Preteens. A lot of the people interacting with the content and joining communities are not exactly capable of exercising proper judgment. All it takes is for a malicious person to introduce themselves with FNAF as the medium, and they can easily gain access to these vulnerable people. And
I hate this. I was hoping for, like... I don't know what I was hoping for. I just was excited to see FNAF drama. Not this type.
And take advantage of their trust, concealing any and all kinds of terrible intentions behind a friendly veneer. This is magnified when the creep in question is a content creator or in some kind of position of authority, as they'll naturally be approached online by people who enjoy what they do and are likely to overlook their misdeeds. So these are the Five Nights at Freddy's degenerates.
Oh god, I was not ready for this. This was an error. It was a lapse in judgment. It was a Turkey Tom video. Dude, are there any Turkey Tom videos where he doesn't mention pedophiles? I'm just asking, like, not calling it, not saying, you know.
Although FNAF would initially have English speakers as its primary target audience, the popularity would quickly become international, as would the YouTubers that center their content around it. One of those many international FNAF aficionados is Matthias Vera Oyarzo.
Alright, dude, I don't know anything about the international FNAF fandom. And I have a feeling I'm about to learn about it. Oh no!
He would go online, Pollution Entertainment, creating his channel in September of 2014 when he was presumably 10 to 11 years old. He would upload many videos ranging from Let's Plays of various horror games to crude animations.
Pero ¿por qué todos piensan que soy un peluche? Me llamo peluche. Yes, peak audio quality. Let's freaking go!
Me puso un nombre al azar. No soy un peluche, eso sería molesto.
Sí, molesto para los peluches.
Being a Chilean YouTuber, this channel would remain unheard of by the English-speaking community for many years, which probably contributed to less scrutiny overall. With his channel name meaning plushie in Spanish, he would start uploading sketches that use his collection of Disney and Teletubby plushies as characters to forward his plots. From an outside perspective, these videos seemed completely harmless.
Harmless, that's what I like to hear. Harmless child content. Love it. It's wholesome, it's great. But then, Palucci became an SCP.
especially considering the fact that they consist of little more than some kid recording himself playing with toys.
Also,
it's totally innocent. But with the context of what we are going to soon discuss, you could see glimpses of behavior that would parallel some of their later actions.
Wait.
With the sketches increasing.
Wait, pollution is the criminal, not the victim? Oh.
Their levels of violence as time went on. Though it would seem far-fetched to imply that these scenes he would have the plushies act out indicated his personal interests, this would soon be proven to be the case.
Oh my god, dude. This kid playing with plushies grows up to be a violent guy? Oh. I hate the internet sometimes.
Around a year into Matthias creating content, a shift in the tone of the content became noticeable. He decided to make his persona a crudely drawn and cut out photo of SCP-173.
Dude, I literally said he was an SCP! Okay, why does this SCP have a vagina for a face? That's
the main
just
antagonist of an indie horror game that went viral in the early 2010s called SCP Containment Breach. I know we've grown accustomed to having kids be familiar with things they're not supposed to, such as grim horror games, but allow me to point out the obvious. SCP can be seriously disturbing and should not be something super young people are exposed to.
Yeah,
regardless of that, Matthias...
I'm recently going down that SCP rabbit hole, and I don't know. It has not helped my my insomnia, that's for sure.
...would post videos of himself playing it on his channel.
Bro sounds like a stand from JoJo's. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no.
Later on, he changed it into some weird mix of the SCP monster and Bonnie from the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
Oh my god, he turned an SCP into a furry. It doesn't get any scarier than that. Oh my god. I am an SCP, but also a furry. The ultimate combo.
Is it just me, or is everyone with drawn avatars with this animation style and color scheme some kind of severely demented creep?
I feel incredibly called out right now.
Anyway, he stuck with this profile picture and would continue to record Let's Plays of horror games, eventually covering the Five Nights at Freddy's series in its entirety. In his old backlog, you can see that FNAF became his primary interest to the point that he slowly abandoned the plush content completely so he could focus on playing not only the original games themselves, but also any fan games he could find, such as Five Nights at the Chum Bucket, and very ironically, One Night at Flumpty's, which...
Ironically, he also played One Night at Flumpty's. Oh my god! Dude, that says so much about his personality. Bro, everyone I know that plays One Night at Flumpty's totally... Dude, this is a real game? I don't understand. Is this what children like? What the frick is this?
will come up again later. After 3 years of making content, the Pollution
the Hunter x Hunter
Entertainment channel would hit some moderate milestones, as his channel would eventually surge up to over 12 million views.
Damn, okay.
However, it was also around this time that a lot of red flags would start appearing in his uploads.
Oh, no.
In one instance, he would admit to his audience that he frequently watched and laughed at gore videos.
Uh-oh, that's a bit of a red flag. No.
Which, even if done for the purpose of just being edgy, will certainly screw you up. Matthias would also become more and more socially dysfunctional, which would manifest as him intentionally getting into conflict with other creators for no reason other than to stir up pointless drama. This would eventually result in strikes to his channel, as his videos would technically qualify.
Dude, how old is this person at this point? Is this still a child? Like, are we still talking about an actual child?
By a cyberbullying and harassment to YouTube. Eventually, though, this strange and negative behavior would take a turn for the far worse.
He's still 14? Dude, 14-year-old getting community strikes. Look, there's something nice about letting kids upload videos to YouTube, but you're also... I don't know. This has just been like an ongoing thought process of mine. Whether kids should be allowed to upload videos to YouTube. Like, on the one hand, it's a hobby. It's wholesome, it's nice, it's creative, it's a nice outlet, but on the other hand, you are introducing these kids to, like, an actual world of freaks. No offense to you guys. No offense to anyone in my chat. But, like, you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like, it's always bothered me.
Matthias would upload a short clip of his cat, Jason Kruger. The video itself doesn't depict much, other than the kitten swinging its paw at the camera and then licking itself. Though this was out of place, it was a welcome break from the negativity.
Yes,
Meanwhile,
wholesome!
over the course of months, Matthias's toxicity would ramp up until an incredibly alarming video would go up in November of 2018.
Oh, no.
In it, Matthias was seen shoving a can of cat food aggressively onto his cat's face.
We did not need an animal abuse segment on this stream. What are these Five Nights at Freddy's fuckers doing? What are they doing? No.
Whatever backlash Matthias had been receiving up until this point would pale in comparison to the negative reaction this video would get.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Reasons. Although the video is now deleted, he would take to the comment section to address the people accusing him of animal abuse.
Dude, it's just like, I can't do this with the furry profile picture, the edgelord SCP furry profile picture. It's just, like, these are red flags, homie.
His translated, pinned comment read, "Seriously, there are assholes who are saying that this is animal abuse? What a shit exaggeration, ha 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 ha. I don't know what is going through their minds to consider this animal abuse."
Oh my god, that's his reaction to being taped abusing animals. Oh god, that's so bad, dude. Honestly, it's his parents' fault. Hot take, he's 14. I know a 14-year-old shouldn't be doing this, but holy shit, it's his parents' fault. He's uploading this, he's getting strikes on his YouTube channel, he's getting into all sorts of beef with all sorts of people online. He's abusing his animals that his parents definitely bought for him because this man was not making money off YouTube. Like, this is 100% his parents' fault. Like, there is no part of me that thinks it's his fault more than his parents. I don't know if that's a hot take, but holy shit, man. Parents need to watch what their kids are doing.
This was a sign that Matthias was intent on doubling down on his behavior.
I had a cousin who had a pet macaw, okay? And her brother was not nice to that macaw. Like, the brother just kept, like, tapping on the macaw's head and stuff. And the parents said, all right, this house cannot have a macaw. And my aunt and uncle gave it away. Gave it to a family that actually would take care of it better. It's a bird. Yeah, it's like a parrot. Similar to a parrot.
Which unfortunately concluded in him eventually recording and posting a video of himself inflicting fatal abuse on Jason.
What?
In it, he would throw, stomp, and repeatedly hit his cat with a wooden spoon until he stopped moving.
Oh my god! Dude, these people are psychos!
Matthias later confirmed Jason had died from the damage done in the video. In probably the most stupid attempt at deception of all time, Matthias would try to claim that the cat had died of natural causes on his channel, which everyone knew not to be the case as the video would become widespread in online forums in the following days. This would end up leading to the dox of Matthias, as people—
Oh my god, dude! Obviously what Matthias did is unacceptable. There's no defense of what Matthias did. It's horrible, and like, I don't even know. But Matthias is a child. Such a yucky situation. Dude, this is what happens when Five Nights at Freddy's raises kids instead of their parents. Oh, I'm so disturbed. Holy shit.
People on the internet wanted to exact revenge on Jason's behalf. A hashtag called Justice for Jason began being disseminated, and a few change.org pages were created to stop Matthias. Unfortunately, Jason would not be the only animal victimized by Matthias.
Oh my god! Dude, what were his parents doing? I'm like flabbergasted.
Just 10 days after the killing, Matthias would adopt 2 new kittens and—
How? How could he adopt 2 new kittens? I'm like just mad now. I'm like mad that no one did their due diligence.
Proceeded to do the same things to them as he'd done to Jason.
I play this video for 3 seconds and then I pause and it's even worse.
On one particularly gruesome occasion, he would record himself dropping the kitten in a used toilet and watch as it tried to escape.
And he's obviously doing it for attention on YouTube too, right? So why didn't YouTube step in and ban him? Like, I get obviously they're not his parents, but he is doing it for attention. YouTube needed to step in and ban this guy. People get banned on YouTube for sneezing crooked, and this kid's fine not getting banned, doing what he's doing. Like, I can't even begin to understand.
After the story went viral as a way to spread awareness of Matthias's heinous actions, several English-speaking creators would come out exposing the situation to a much larger audience. The intentions ranged anywhere from trying to get his YouTube account terminated.
Holy shit, what is this title? YouTuber crushes cats to death on camera. Holy shit. There is no way this video is monetized. My lord.
To having him arrested in real life for animal cruelty. Matthias would go on to show very little remorse for his actions and now deleted tweets, saying, "I don't know who's been telling you that I regret what I did or that I feel bad about my cat dying. To me, it's worth nothing.
Oh
Just
my
a novelty
God!
day, and that's it. Besides, I haven't done anything to it, and I regret absolutely nothing." Thankfully, as the attention piled on to what Matthias was doing, an acquaintance of his would act in order to save the cats, posting a picture of—
Let's go. Where are the parents? Where are this kid's parents? Like, what are they doing? That some random kid that knows the situation needs to step in?
them to Facebook with the message, "Well, the pups are away from Matthias. As the only person that knew where they were, I went to fetch them, and right now they are under the care of my family, while we look for people who will give them an appropriate place. Soon, we'll speak to an animal rights advocate to promote their adoption." As far as action from the local civil authorities, on the other hand, things seem to be going a little slower. People online managed to contact the police, who released a statement on Matthias's case. We informed the prosecutor's office regarding these occurrences, which ordered certain procedures that included an investigative process, such as putting together witness reports to establish the identity of this minor, his parents, and how the events occurred.
Why is police so slow? I'm sorry, I hate just getting aggravated watching this stuff. This is a 14-year-old kid, okay? And the entire internet was going on. His dox is online, they doxed him, and the police need to verify who he is.
The prosecutor on duty instructed us at the time not to take a statement from the minor. As these events transpired, the many accounts run by Pollution would all become mysteriously inactive, prompting a multitude of rumors about what happened to Matthias. Then, in May 2019, he would take to his YouTube community page to make a very long post to clarify what was going on.
Oh,
I am not hospitalized. The reason why I have not been online and why I haven't uploaded videos is because I am forbidden from going on the internet. But Based! Except they should have done this, you know, years ago when he started exhibiting behaviors abusing animals. When I can, I am going to upload a video, and I will tell you what really happened to me.
Sure.
Because there have only been rumors. Yes, I was hospitalized, but for 2 weeks. I got out quickly for good behavior, and because the psychiatric hospital was full. But the reason I went in was because of my parents, so that I could be calmer. It is true that
The reason why he went into the hospital was because of his parents, so that he could be calmer. This is a kid that killed his pets. And only after the police get involved, the parents realize, wait a second, maybe he should get help so he could be calmer.
I'm on medication, but it's not anything crazy, just things to keep me calm, and that's it. They never took the cats from me. When everything happened, my mom decided to give the cats to a former friend, because since my mom presumed we'd get in trouble with animal protectors, she decided to give them away.
Dude, this is like the most subhuman thing I've ever heard in my life!
I have never been arrested. I will be going to trial, however. It is obvious that I will not go to jail, but I do not know what they'll do to me. I will find out 2 more months from now because the trials have been postponed. Some of you found out about the abuse I had at the name-censored school, and it doesn't matter if I mention the school because they already mentioned it in the newspapers. Also, do not trust any social network because several of my social networks were hacked, such as Ask, and at first, Facebook.
Dude, I love that. It's like, guys, just trust me, bro. Just let me remind you that I was hacked. I should not be expected to. Don't trust what you hear about me. It's probably fake.
And Twitter that closed it for me, so that they do not believe anything they have said by Ask or any other social network, because I currently can't access the internet. In this post, he makes reference to a certain abuse that took place in his school. But what is he talking about? In all of the controversy surrounding his animal abuse videos, none of it ever included something at a school. It was at this point that it became public knowledge that Matthias was being accused of sexual harassment.
This kid was all sorts of fucked up, and no one did anything until the internet noticed. Let's say he would have done all this for like his own twisted pleasure and not ever post anything on the internet. This would just keep going on, right? Like, the only reason why this stopped eventually was because it ended up online.
Besides an article that was published about it and the court case which specified this as an offense, a now private YouTube video called My Final Verdict on Pollution Entertainment and audios from his colleagues would play an audio of Matthias masturbating while saying the name of one of his classmates. Supposedly, this audio was sent by Matthias to a friend of his through WhatsApp, who then forwarded it to other people and so on and so forth until it reached the ears of the person whose name he was saying.
That's disgusting.
In addition to this, if it wasn't bad enough, it seems he also groped two of his classmates March 11th. He would eventually return to YouTube and continue posting, though obviously this did nothing to improve what people thought of him. On May 2nd, he would make an upload repenting for what he'd done and claiming he had only recorded that video of him hitting Jason with the can of food because he was trying to make him move as, according to Matthias, he wasn't able to. This was obviously another desperate attempt to save his image,
come on,
which obviously doesn't explain the other abuse videos. Because his accounts hadn't been deleted, you could get the impression that nothing would come of this at all. A few months after this would-be apology, it would all change.
I'm talking about there are YouTubers that...
The reason why he abused an animal was because he wanted it to move. Guys, it's not as bad as it sounds! Okay, it's not as bad as it sounds. He just wanted it to move and it wasn't moving, so in his defense, he did... What?
Film themselves murdering and torturing cats for their content.
Let's go, Charlie.
This first one, I believe you've probably heard of a couple years ago because it was kind of big news. The channel's called Pollution Entertainment. I believe it was run by a 15-year-old Spanish-speaking YouTuber who filmed multiple videos where he was beating, kicking, pulling, throwing his cat against the wall until he eventually killed it. And it became kind of a big deal, at least in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community.
I hope so. That's
in August
horrible.
of 2020, almost 2 years after the murder of Matthias's first cat, Moist Critical would bring attention to the story once more, highlighting the fact that, in the wake of the original story, several other Spanish-speaking channels began torturing and killing cats in the name of Matthias.
Oh my god, dude, I can't. I'm not ready. My stomach cannot survive YouTube drama anymore. This isn't YouTube drama. This is the worst thing I've ever heard.
In Latin American YouTube, these people were called the Cult of Pollution. These copycats, namely Miriam Frenia and Atelos, would once again bring heaps of attention to the story of pollution, and just a month after Critical's video was uploaded, the majority of Matthias's many YouTube channels would get terminated. Although Matthias did make several court appearances around 2020 and after that, it seems he wasn't sentenced with any prison time, as he would continue to ban evade on several channels that are still semi-active to this day.
Bro,
in November of
there's
2020,
no end! How could you not get rid of this? How could you not be able to get rid of this channel? That makes no sense to me. YouTube's like a hawk. They annihilate channels left and right when they want to. Why are they having a hard time doing it with this one?
2021, it seems that his court proceedings reached some kind of conclusion, but Matthias himself would never comment on it explicitly to let people know what it was. It's most likely that he got a suspended sentence or probation. In the comments of his videos, he would occasionally reference it, but always keep it vague. His punishment should definitely be far more severe than what he got, but the least we can hope for is that he never does anything like that ever again.
Oh, that would be nice.
One of the most...
Okay, alright, that was the first segment. I don't know, man. That was horrible. I hated all of that. Oh, well, I'm going down the rabbit hole. We keep going. We keep going, baby. We keep going, but holy shit. Parents, you gotta make sure your kids aren't posting shit online.
Unique and important things about the FNAF franchise is its long list of fan games. Free creations built from the ground up by passionate developers that would either
people that love something so much, they work so hard to make sure that it's loved and appreciated by more people. Yes! Wholesome things! No more creepy stories! No more travesties! Yes!
Gameplay, characters, or general premise of what the first few Five Nights games would establish. Today, there are thousands of fan creations on GameJolt alone, with many believing some of these fan creations to even exceed the quality of the source material. Unlike companies like Nintendo or Disney, who will take every opportunity to snipe out anybody using their IPs to make independent creations, or, dare I say, profit off of it, Scott Cawthon was actually supportive of people using his game as the backdrop for their own creations.
I love the random Nintendo L's that just show up all over the place because of how just god-awful Nintendo is always. Shout out to Nintendo for being a god-awful always, just an easy target always.
He not only allowed them to continue it, but decided that some even deserved direct endorsement and funding from him. The Fazbear Fanverse initiative was a project started by Scott to highlight the major talent of the community, with the developers consisting of Kane Carter, Fiznom, Nixon, Emil Mako, and Jonah Chrome, all known for their work on the fan games Pop Goes, FNAF, Open Source, The Joy of Creation, Five Nights at Candy's, and One Night at Flumpty's, respectively.
Dude, every time I hear One Night at Flumpty's, it just... what do I even say? It's called One Night at Flumpty's.
Paper, the Fanverse seemed like a really good idea.
I think fan projects need to be more even widespread than they are. They're so good. They prop up the original. They're literally everything you could possibly want. I don't know. I think fan stuff is awesome and always has been and should be legal and should not be subject to copyright because it is different than the original. Just saying.
Way to reward passionate fans of these series to create their own installments in the IP with Scott's go-ahead. Honestly, has this ever even happened before? Some developers are so anal about their IPs, they'll get mad if you make a mod for their game.
I know, Nintendo, you stupid bitch fucks. Sorry, was that too real? It wasn't real enough.
Letting people use original assets free of charge. Being greenlit had many perks, including being able to release and sell official merchandise under the initiative. For the first few years of the project, things seem to be going in a great direction. But when you start to step back and remember the fact that the people being hired to work on these projects are just one-man teams who didn't possess the same professionalism and standards that Scott had, the foundations began to shift. Fortunately,
dude, what did you expect? Did you actually expect this to... Bro,
professionalism and standards that Scott had, the foundations began to shift.
Who expected them to have professionalism? They're fans. They could be anyone. They could be someone who's good at computer programming that's also a total complete psycho. Why would you have any faith in these people?
Fortunately, many of the controversies would blow over of their own accord as months went by. However, one situation regarding one of the developers of the Fanverse simply could not go without scrutiny and appropriate punishment. Further back, when...
Listen, I know a lot of... Dude, I've been in the Undertale fandom for a long time, and I know about all those alternate universes and stuff, and I know about a lot of drama in those alternate universes and stuff. But normally... I mean, I don't know of any that blew up to such an extent that there was actual legal repercussions.
Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't yet the household name it currently is. Fan games were fewer and farther between. And consequently...
Bro, I love fan games. I think they breathe life into the original product. Like, I don't think Pokemon fans would still exist today if Pokemon fan games didn't exist. And I know they're all illegal and Nintendo hates them and constantly tries to shut them down. I'm literally playing Pokemon Radical Red right now, myself. And it's stuff like that that keeps me still as part of the game. And Nintendo absolutely hates it. And they try their very, very best to continue wiping you out. Just because Japanese copyright laws are so backwards. They are so backwards.
It was much less likely for very talented and competent
Pokemon
people
Rogue. Dude, I just beat a hardcore Pokemon Rogue Nuzlocke. It's stuff like that that keeps me in my, keeps me loving this franchise.
To be working on them. This meant that, were a fan game to pop up that would even remotely match the quality of the official games, the project would erupt astronomically in popularity.
Okay.
The poster child of this phenomenon was the game One Night at Flumpty's.
Bro, not Flumpty's! It's always this Flumpty's.
Which would release in January of 2015. With the game meant to be a slightly humorous parody of the first FNAF game, lead developer Jonah Chrome did not expect the title to get even nearly the popularity it did. It was covered by a ton of big-name gaming channels, many of which were massive.
Holy shit, 5.4 million views on One Night of Flumpty's? That's crazy.
Contributors to the fame of FNAF itself.
An hour long, 2 million views One Night at Flumpty's? Flumpty's nuts.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Welcome to One Night at Flumpty's.
He actually played One Night of Flumpty's. Dude, actually, that's wild!
Before Flumpty's, John had already accumulated a small following years prior, with him making a fairly popular series of Flash games on the site Newgrounds called Riddle School, which began all the way back in 2006 and concluded in 2016. Although he would not reach the absolute heights of notoriety he did until Flumpties, John already had years of experience with drawing and animating prior to it. I know it's possible some of the younger Zoomers watching this don't know what Newgrounds is, but it was basically the most popular game and animation aggregator when using Adobe Flash was still a thing everyone did. John would keep his image clean in the fan community for years, releasing a sequel to Flumpties a few months after the first, and promptly retiring the project after, stating he wasn't passionate enough to continue making games set in that world.
Fair.
I've made
That's
no
fine.
secret of the conflicting feelings I've had about this goofy little series, but I know I'm not alone when I say it's a rough feeling when your most successful creation, or at least one of them, is something you didn't put your heart into.
I get that.
I made the
totally
first
get
game,
that.
and
When you sell out and succeed, it's like the worst feeling in the world. It's like you sell out by making a Five Nights of Freddy's game, right? That you don't actually give a shit about. And it succeeds. No! No! You always have like that part of you that wants the sellout to fail so that you could prove to yourself that it's worth working on passion projects. But that's just not reality. Selling out works way too well, way too often for way too many people. And it sucks you in this rabbit hole of constantly being in this grind set where you just have to keep selling out more and more.
in about 3 weeks to practice software I'd never used before. Not only was it a test parody game based on a series I really only had a passing interest in about 5 years ago, its cast is entirely made up of characters most people seem to have more passion about than I do.
That was until he was approached
More passionate about than I do. Man, he opened up Flumpy's Rule 34 for 1 second and lost his shit. He was like, wait a second here. Flumpty's Rule 34 should not be popping off this way. I don't even give a crap about Flumpty. People are more passionate about Flumpty than I am. Yes, I saw the cream pie Flumpty art, and I've never been the same.
to be a part of the fanverse in 2020 to make one last entry under the request of Scott himself.
Whoa.
The game would release on Halloween of 2021 to fan acclaim, being the very first project to release under the
Is there Nux Rule 34? Way too much. Thank you for asking.
Fanverse label. All seems like it was going great, but the things that John had been doing unbeknownst to anyone for the previous 6 years would finally be revealed, and his image would be permanently scarred. On November 8th of 2021, just 8 days after the release of Flumpties 3, an anonymous Twitter user would come out with heavy allegations relating to Johnachrome.
Oh, fuck.
The message reads, "Hello, my name is unimportant to this matter, and I'd rather stay anonymous. I love this community. I absolutely have been a part of the FNAF fandom ever since 2014. The point of this is to try and make it safer for everyone and minors. Don't go attacking Scott over this. He had absolutely no way of knowing who Johnachrome really is.
Oh, God.
I also strongly insist that minors should stay within their own age groups when meeting friends in the same fandom, online, whether artists or not. With that said, this is my testimony coming clean about Johnachrome. After seeing the release of ONAF3 and how Johnachrome has insisted on staying within the community and fanverse, I cannot stand by and allow him to continue being within this fandom. And I really should have come forward with this much earlier.
All right. What is that? Okay, and you said nothing so far.
I was involved with plenty of his group DMs from 2016 to 2018. A girl by the name of Emily was 13 to 14 at the time, and he came all out about his relationship with her within group DMs we've had. Johnachrome was already in his 20s.
Dude, that is... Oh, Lord, dude. You really had to wait for One Night at Flumpty's 3 to come out to make this public? This should have been made public instantly.
Charges cannot be pressed, as Emily would need to do it herself, as she would now be 19. I have evidence to provide for this with...
This was 6 years ago and you were silent?
With links to all of it, witness statements, and messages from Johnachrome himself. This man should not be praised at all, and I hope this helps people see him for what he really is, and why he should be removed altogether from any community he has a high stance in. We can gather from the witness accounts, which came from other people in their group chats, that John stated that he was definitely romantically involved, but that he would do nothing sexual with the girl until she was of legal age, which some thought approximated the definition of grooming. However, these allegations from other people weren't half as damning as John's own messages, where he not only admitted to planning to marry Emily, who is...
Oh, Lord. My youngest older sister is now engaged. I mean, soon I'll be the only unmarried kid in my 6-kid family. I was gonna make a joke about you marrying yourself, but then I found this, Jen. Marrying your work. That's the weirdest autocorrect thing. Your work equals yourself.
still a minor at the time, but also mentions that they'd been dating for 2.5 years. Considering her date of birth was set at 2002 on her accounts, this necessarily meant that they'd started dating when she was 14 at the very least. He was plainly aware that what he was doing was very wrong, because he was panicking over the net neutrality laws, which, if you don't recall, were a major point of contention back in 2017. His concern was that he believed that somehow net neutrality being repealed would have some effect on his communication with Emily. His concern was also that, due to the obvious illegality of his relationship, if we can call it that, he'd either have to stop talking to her or get in trouble. It's quite obvious that if he
makes sense to me. That's a huge nopes. That's a nopers. Yikers. Holy crap. Why didn't they lambast this guy the second they found out about this? Why would they wait for Flumpties 3?
In a relationship with a minor in your 20s, with the counterclaim of it being romantic only, you know you were doing something you shouldn't be. The allegations would float in the internet ether for just a few hours until John would respond to the allegations himself, confirming their credibility. His post said the following: "I can't deny that these screenshots are real. When Emily and I met, dating wasn't even a consideration for obvious reasons. We were friends who got along really well. Emily and I shared the same religious beliefs. We have a similar sense of humor. There's a lot of overlap in our interests and hobbies." And
similar religious beliefs, you say. Which of those religious beliefs are a 14-year-old and a 20-something-year-old should be dating? Which religion is that, homie?
Could comfortably talk about a lot of things. We both felt like maybe we were meant to be together, and we were just born at the wrong times. We started—
That is the worst thing I've ever heard. We were born at the wrong times. She was born 10 years too late. Something had to be done.
Talking, making it clear right away that there would be nothing sexual about our conversations, and that we wouldn't meet in person until she was at least 18.
That sounds like grooming. That sounds like pretty textbook grooming.
For a long time, I didn't see the harm in it. In a way, I thought I was saving her from experiencing the same heartbreak I did. This year, 2021,
alright, dude, you're no hero, homie.
The same year we met in person, with her at age 19. But this was also when I learned she was starting to have doubts about our relationship.
What?
She knew I didn't mean any harm, while also saying I'd effectively prevented her from exploring other romantic options by approaching her when I did.
Yeah, sounds like grooming.
I'd like to say I knew better, but until that moment, I kinda didn't. The reality is, I didn't give her enough time to grow, and I shouldn't have even entertained the idea. It's a mistake I've made the one time, and I'll never make it again for as long as I live. For anyone who wishes to hear the victim side of the story, Emily and I are on good terms, and she is planning to make her own response to this as soon as she can. Regardless,
It was an accidental grooming. Cannot believe I accidentally groomed that child for 10 years!
wrong for pursuing a relationship with her. I can't change the past, but I hope that my story can at least serve as an example for others. This could have ended a lot worse. Stay safe. This brings us to Emily's thread on Twitter about it, which corroborated what John was saying. Jonachrome was 100% responsible for his actions. He has apologized to me several times, and I truly still believe he is a good person. We even talk on good terms, even though we're separate. But he has recognized that he f***ed up. So please, as the victim, leave the man alone. Let me clarify, he has never tried to solicit anything from me. He has never asked me to do anything I didn't want to. It was not good to consider us having a romantic relationship when I was very explicitly not old enough. But keep in mind, we've always been friends. However—
Dude, this just makes me sad, bro. Dog, there's no defending this shit. You don't make a slight mistake. You don't slip on a banana peel and your dick lands in a child. That's not how it happens.
I will absolutely make note and admit his faults. Because he has mentioned while I was a minor, he had thought about it, but nothing ever came of it. He didn't do what most who get caught up in cancel culture do. He has done nothing illegal, but yes, he was close.
That doesn't sound good. Was that supposed to exonerate him? I mean, she's defending him. Yeah, she's defending him. She was groomed by him. That's what grooming is. It's freaking. Oh.
As an adult, I am not pressing any charges against Jonachrome, and I truly hope he is living his best life. He's been seeking therapy, and I do hope he'll make it out alive in this. On November 13th of 2021, John would make one final statement regarding
He's not a pedophile, he's just a groomer. Oh! Well, that's better, I guess, but not better enough that I'd give this guy a hug and a handshake.
Controversy, which is way too long for me to include here, but included him saying that he wasn't a groomer because grooming requires sexual intent, which he claims he never had.
No, he just wanted to marry her. He didn't actually have sexual intent. He wanted to have no sex with her. He just simply wanted to marry her. Well, That's different.
The conclusion of his post, John stated he would leave the internet for a long time, with his Twitter bio stating he is now in therapy and seeking to be who he believes he truly is. It has been
What? I know in my heart who I really am, but I'm far from being who I need to be. I need to be someone that wants to marry an adult.
over a year since Jonachrome left the internet, and with everything laid out, it was probably the best choice he could have made regarding the subject. The aftermath of Jonachrome's exile from the community has been one that's very silent. The victim and the anonymous leaker have not been heard from since the situation, and although Scott hasn't made an official statement on what happened, the console ports of the game, dubbed the Egg Collection, were silently cancelled.
I wonder why Scott deleted the tweet talking about Flumpty. Well, maybe it's because the guy who made Flumpty was a groomer.
And no
Does
words
he know?
on any.
He definitely knows. I think this is a big misconception a lot of people have, thinking that YouTubers don't know as much as they do. YouTubers freaking know. It's our jobs. We are a drama sluts out here, okay? We know everything.
Fanverse merchandise for Flumpties have been confirmed, as they were the only game excluded from having any official merch released for it as of now. This entire ordeal has made many question the concept of bringing figures from your fandom's community into the fold, since
Bro, this doesn't make you question. I do not talk to my community. Like, I'll talk to you in chat. No private DMs with community members. Unless you're like mods or something, I do not talk to you. No offense, guys. I just...
despite Scott's best intentions, background checking strangers over the internet is a basically impossible task, and inevitably, you're gonna get at least one situation like this. Thankfully, the rest of the fanverse was seemingly not hindered by these circumstances, with the other creators continuing to post updates on their game's progress and still be on good terms with Scott. If there's one good thing about this story, is that it's close-ended, and seemingly with the minimal amount of damages there could possibly be. Let's hope this case never has to be reopened,
sort of.
and John never reoffends.
Yep.
Justin Nicholas Cannonberg, also
Oh
known as
god,
Blackout
dude, there's
1912,
more. There's more. Whenever he starts off talking about somebody with some name, like some full name, it's like, oh god, why is this guy's full information out there?
or Nichi, was a fairly unknown creator in the FNAF fan games community. His biggest contribution for a while would be his work as the game designer and story director for a project called Insanity. His work was competent enough to attract the attention of other developers looking to recruit or work together. In early 2015, Blackout would begin to work on the
Wholesome
fan
so
game
far.
Dormitabis. Although there were a lot of internal struggles going on with the game at the time, it was released to high praise, with many prominent figures in the FNAF community making videos about it, which further expanded its reach. At the time, many would even tout it as the best.
You get... Those days, you just made freaking bank off FNAF. Anything FNAF adjacent, you'd make insane money. Holy moly.
FNAF fan game so far. However, this hype steadily declined as the years went by, as Blackout's online behavior would continually throw dirt on his work until it was completely buried.
Okay.
In every circle he was in, he managed to get himself into controversy of some sort. One of his most common offenses was being aggressive towards people he disliked in the communities he was a part of, which got to the point of him sending harassment campaigns towards other developers. The issue got so out of hand that sometime in 2018, a collaborative expose video was put together to spread information about Blackout. Although this expose
Oh no, everyone's getting exposed. Why is the Five Nights at Freddy's community so wild?
This video seems to be lost as of now. Screenshots of the bullet points for the document are still floating around today. Most of the things listed on the documents, though certainly not good, still fall within the realm of just being a normal person, such as cheating on his girlfriend, bullying people, and not respecting others' opinions. Definitely 3 things that would make you an outcast socially in some respects, but it's not that big of a deal, right? Some other items, though, are far darker than others.
Some are far darker than others indeed. Well put, Tom. Nicely said, Thomas. Yup.
Fetishes section, it claims that Blackout has fantasies involving physical abuse to the point.
Why would people know this? Like, all right, listen. Let's get it. Let me just try to hypothetically put my mind into the mind of somebody that likes the idea of women or men being all of that. All right. Why would they share this?
Point of grievous bodily harm, murder, and having sex with dead bodies. Even if this was somehow him just being edgy, it was an indication that there was something seriously wrong with Blackout.
Yeah, guys, that's just him being edgy, guys. When he said that he likes having sex with dead bodies.
In the story of Dormitabis, which was authored by Blackout, one of the plot points was the main antagonist, Garvey, brutally raping and murdering a 15-year-old girl.
Oh my god, who writes this stuff?
Oh my god! This is most certainly beginning to be
fun.
What?
There's this hot 15-year-old that was part of the kids' friends group.
Oh my god, who records themselves saying this?
You know, it was fun. She screamed, but nobody heard her.
Oh my god, the putting on the incredibly, like, the cringe, but nobody heard. I am a psychoanime villain. Oh, she screamed, but nobody heard. It just hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Oh.
It's so much fun.
Alright, please stop.
She's in one of the suits now. Just a little more time until Fredbear's is going down as well. But hey!
And just, like, going straight from, like, psycho pedophile nutcase straight to FNAF world. It's like, oh, this 15-year-old, yes, oh, Freddy Fazbear. And it's just like, oh, Lord.
Hey, I'll find my ways to catch the others.
Besides the cringeworthy voice acting and the tasteless and tone-deaf introduction of a topic like that into a FNAF game of all things, this eventually culminated.
This is for a FNAF game, you know, literally a game for child. This is not someone should be canceled. This is someone should be, like, not allowed to access the internet.
To a real-life event that surpassed anything Blackout had done up until.
Oh, Lord, this did not have a real-life event. Oh my god, dude. Why do I watch Turkey Tom? Why do I do this? Oh no.
At that point, on November 12th of 2020, a fellow developer in the fan game community uploaded a video exposing sexual messages Blackout had exchanged with a 12-year-old over Discord. For obvious reasons, the identities of everyone except Blackout himself will be concealed, and the multiple
Discord should not be allowed to be accessed. Yes, I understand children won't have fun in some places, as much fun as they would have in other places, but sorry, homie. I think that if only one every 1,000 kids gets put into a situation like this, that is way too many, brother.
Screenshots that were leaked from his conversations with his victim, he showed himself to be aware that what he was doing was taboo, considered himself her special friend, and referenced that Germany's age of consent laws were relaxed.
She's 12. They're not that relaxed.
It seems pretty obvious what the context of these conversations was. Blackout, being born in 2001, was 18 at the time these messages were being exchanged. This alone is already bad, but the messages got far worse, as it has been shown that Blackout had already sent a nude image of his bare ass to the same 12-year-old. This, ironically, can be verified by someone who had tried to defend Blackout as they tried to bring up Germany's age of consent laws as a way to justify this behavior.
Alright, incredibly hot take. Anyone that starts with saying, well, the age of consent in Germany, yeah, that's a red flag. If you're already moving the flagpole talking about age of consent in different countries and cities, that's bad.
Even if appealing to the law was a remotely reasonable defense, the age of consent in Germany is still not 12 years old. Ever since this event, things regarding Blackout have been silent, as he left the internet and is not active anywhere currently that we're aware of.
I wonder why.
Their Game Jolt page shows Blackout's last message. Jesus Christ, just leave me be. I don't want to live in your heads rent-free. I've moved on, and you should as well. Bye. With what we've seen so far, it's safe to say Blackout has gotten off pretty easy. An individual with an extensive history of abusive behavior who had inappropriate chats with a 12-year-old at the age of 18 got to quietly go offline with no significant punishment.
That's wild. I think that, again, a lot of the reason why people are so, like, quick to abuse minors online is because they feel like that these repercussions won't hit them in the real world. They feel like they're behind their online shield.
Not even a display of remorse or acknowledgement of what he'd done. Though it is likely and possible that he's still lurking under an alias, all we can do now is hope that they're away from the internet for good, or hope that they don't reoffend. Fortunately, the people who liked his mod decided to virtually separate it from his authorship by creating a remaster, so that new players won't end up unknown.
No, I don't know, bro. Either know what you're doing. I don't know. If you still want to play the mod, but, like, dude, that's just not it.
Supporting Blackout and all the things he's done. Last, but certainly not least, in the name of inclusivity, I decided to add a female degenerate here as well.
As an advocate of gender equality, my boy Turkish Thomas is out here including women on his list as well. God, he's so cool and brave for that. Let's freaking go, Turkish.
Oh, this person, of whom we have very few pieces of info as far as who they are in real life, was an active user on the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddits, becoming a micro-celebrity there for making drawings of Vanny from Security Breach, and, eventually, creating her own custom design of the character, which other users took a liking to. But no matter how small or niche a reputation can be, it's never so insignificant that a groomer won't go out of their way to decimate it. In January...
Why are they all groomers? They're all groomers. Shout out to gender equality. My man out here dunking on male pedophiles and female pedophiles. What a fucking hero.
Of 2021, former head moderator of the subreddit, FNAFGYFR, would make a large post seemingly out of left field revealing that, when Mia wasn't posting FNAF fan art on Reddit, she was actually grooming minors on Discord.
FNAF fan art on Reddit and grooming minors on Discord. Name a better couple. You can't! You can't!
Can a sentence be more representative of online degeneracy than that?
He just literally said the same thing. Yeah, let's freaking go, baby.
According to the former head mod, they received messages via mod email that had screenshots of the Discord conversations in question, dating back to the middle of 2020, wherein Mia was saying explicitly sexual things to a minor.
I hate this type of talking in general. You are so cute and angry. I just want to poke you.
Names of the victims have been redacted for their own safety. The mods affirm that there were multiple people coming forward with information about Mia
Lord, this is gross!
In a very incriminating reaction to being asked about the grooming messages by the mod via an account with a different handle, Mia would reply in an almost cartoonishly self-incriminating fashion, straight up saying that the messages were still in her chat logs, without even noticing that she was indirectly admitting that the allegations were also true. Mia would then claim that, back in July 2020,
she just did the ultimate self-report. You mentioned that your messages are deleted. Does that mean that their messages from the screenshot are still visible? You're right. Let me check. Okay, if this is true, their messages must still be there, so I can disprove this. Thank you. I didn't think of that. No, they're there. Holy crap, that's the greatest self-report in the history of pedophiles.
Admitting that the allegations were also true. Mia would then claim that, back in July 2020, she had given two people she knew in real life access to her account in exchange for money, agreeing to let them pretend.
Right! Right. Oh no, someone else logged into my account. They said they'd give me $20 if they could log into my account, and they did, and they groomed minors on my account. And it wasn't me, it was my kid brother that groomed all those minors on my... Yeah, sure, okay.
And to be her, and even imitate her writing style to trick others. It's not exactly explained why these two supposed imposters would want to pretend to be her in the first place, but considering how hard it must be to make up lies on the spot, she probably didn't give it much thought. If Mia is to be believed, it follows that the grooming interactions were done not by her, but by one of these two anonymous people she's no longer in contact with. The only issue with this is that she herself said that she changed her password and stopped letting other people use her account in the same month, July of 2020. The teeny tiny problem is that, unbeknownst to Mia, the victims were still providing the mods with screenshots of their...
Oopsie! She forgot that the victims actually have evidence of all the creepy shit she was doing too! Damn! Wild how that happened.
Interactions with her, including ones that happened after July. While this was being cleared up by the victim...
Oh my god, she said to a child, should I send more porn or just stop? Oh my lord, dude.
Interactions with her, including ones that happened after July. While this was being cleared up by the victims that came forward, Mia posted to Reddit claiming that she would go to her best friend to find out who was responsible for the grooming messages. Conveniently, just 5 minutes after this post, an alt account would pop up on the thread, gloating about their successful character assassination campaign on Mia. To which she would innocently reply, "Wait, what? Did you do that?"
Why is she trying so hard? She made an alt account to say, haha, I just made money character assassinating you. And she's like, what? You were the one who did that!
Just a brief investigation of this alt account reveals that they posted NSFW art that was identical to some of Mia's illustrations.
Oh my god, she's brain dead. Actually brain dead.
A writing style perhaps you could emulate, but drawing exactly like her as well? While Mia scrambled desperately for a story to tie up the loose ends she'd left behind, she'd alternate between saying that she knew the people using her account in real life and claiming that they were random anonymous people on
we shared
online she only interacted with through PayPal. But once again, her complete lack of self-awareness would destroy any narrative she was trying to weave.
This is the wildest flub I've ever seen in my life. This is the worst response to criticism ever. Oh my god.
She'd eventually admit that the messages were real and hers, but that it wasn't her fault because the minor initiated it.
Okay, yes, my cousin didn't actually log into my account and groom minors on my account. It was actually me. And yes, the account that was saying that they framed me was actually just me trying to make it look like I was innocent. But in my defense, the minors wanted it!
You heard that right. Regardless of this, though, she also claimed that she kept on talking to them and engaging in sexual role plays. Mind you, while slowly stopping her communications as opposed to just cutting it off cold turkey. Eventually, she
he said turkey.
Deduced that the Mods were getting information firsthand from the victims, who were showing that, even after the victims straight up blocked Mia, she would still try to contact them via the Reddit chat.
Bro, she was still going after those minors even after they blocked her. Oh my god, dude, this is despicable. Holy crap.
Since she was blatantly lying about not being a groomer, her account was banned from the subreddit, and just a little while after, she deleted it. We shouldn't take this as a sign of remorse though, because her last post typically consisted of things such as, "Stop, I can't do this anymore. I never lied. I tried to show the truth, but now the world is against me. This is not-
It's almost comical, and how horrible this is.
Fair." The subreddit also discovered that-
God, watching her suffer is so fun. Dude, the satisfaction of watching these people suffer.
A while after the ban, another user by the name of Nessa Plush, who posted little other than NSFW Vanny art, was actually Mia trying to creep back into the community. Fortunately, she was banned from the subreddit preemptively in order to prevent any more grooming from taking place. No fandom is immune to degenerate creeps and
especially freaking FNAF. These guys are out of their mind.
Mentally ill people. As a matter of fact, the more a given community is geared towards children, the more likely we'll end up fostering these types.
Honestly.
Considering the sheer size of the FNAF community, I most definitely just touched on the tip of the iceberg here as far as the insane people in it.
Oh my God,
that being
dude.
said, it's not everyone. It's not even close to like 5% of the community, maybe not even close to 1%. Most people in most fandoms are frankly normal, innocent people who come together around an interest. There's just a few bad apples. Hopefully, documenting this kind of thing has a beneficial effect and helps prevent it from happening again to other people. It's good to see how vigilant certain spaces became about protecting young people and going after predators and other abusers.
Hell yeah, I really do like that.
Partly due to how insular and independent the FNAF community is.
It is awesome that I think that my favorite part of YouTube in general is that YouTube has a really good self-policing community, like a community that's really just making sure that it itself stays safe, calling out pedophiles and shit like that.
It hasn't had nearly as many scandals like these as you would expect. When one does pop up though, it's about as depraved as what we've been conditioned to expect. Then again, considering how closely knit adult FNAF fans and furries are, it was simply inevitable that some degenerates would pop up.
Furries taking strays, baby.
I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.
Thank you so much for being here. Dude, check out Turkey Tom. Man really dives deep into these shitholes. Holy crap, bro. That was awful.
Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.